3, 4, and 5 due up for Liberty here in the 9th. Logan Matthew to lead things off. The Flames trailing by a run. Sawyer Bridges looking to give South Carolina their 90th season opening win in school history. If he can stop the Flames. Drill, but right to Jacob Olson, who doesn't have to move for round number 1.
Wow. Tip the cap there to the scouting and the shift. Good reaction there by Olson and hanging on to that one. That was a laser, and that was one of the things we talked about earlier, Birch. I mean, there's some coaches that aren't really adopting the shift as much as others, and Kingston obviously believes in it, and his staff is doing a wonderful job of. That's a lot of hard work, a lot of scouting, and looking at film, and obviously too knowing the pitchers and what they have and how the ball's going to react off of them as well is a big part of that. So
it's Drew Ballman with 1 out. Freshman today hitless against Gamecock pitching. This is his first look at Sawyer Bridges, and Bridges ahead in the count.
Birch, when Bridges is on and throwing that fastball that starts off 6 inches off the plate like that, and I mean, again, if it's 80 or 81, and then he can elevate the fastball from down under at 91. I mean, that's almost unfair. I mean, that's why this young man is up for stopper of the year. I mean, that is just.
So it's up to Will Wagner now, down to the last out. Sawyer Bridges, 4 up and 4 down right now, with 1 more to get. Called strike.
And his ability to be able to pitch several days in a row too, with most guys that are throwing that sidearm delivery, it's less stressful on their arm, and him to be able to be used several times in a weekend is a huge advantage for the Gamecocks.
Will Wagner today 2 for 3, a couple of infield singles and a run scored. Count is even. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Wagner drilling one deep to right field, and we are tied again here in the 9th as Will Wagner goes deep on Sawyer Bridges. As the Flames continue to burn here in Columbia.
He didn't miss that one a bit. That was a well-hit ball and a mistake, by Bridges. He certainly left that one over the heart of the plate, and he just dropped the barrel on a good piece of it. And I tell you, this is a heavyweight boxing match. This has been a great opening game, and you mentioned it, Birch, for either side. This has just been back and forth all night long.
Here's Ben Highfill batting for Cam Locklear. Highfill from Apex, North Carolina. Big kid, 6'4", 230.
Boy, that is just clutch hitting. 2 outs. You're on the road playing an SEC team, and it was 1 game away from Omaha last year, and hit a game-tying home run. I mean, that is
Kind of looked like Seth Beer on that one, didn't it?
That was yes. That was be a moment he'll certainly never forget.
South Carolina was just 1 out away from an opening day win. You know, if Bridges can get Highfield, it's going to be up to the Gamecock Bats to get that win, and they'll have 7, 8, and 9 due up. Nick Neville, Chris Cullen, and Josiah Seitler. So Bridges able to get Highfield, but it's Billy Wagner's boy, Will Wagner, the freshman, with the solo home run to tie things up here. It's been these freshmen that have shown up big today. There's one, Will Wagner. He's got it in the genes, that's for sure. And always confident on the mound.
Well, his dad was always good in the 9th inning.
Yeah, indeed he was, wasn't he? And Will Wagner is certainly confident. You know, this Liberty Flame team, they have had this mentality of, you know, we're always going to be in it. But on the flip side, this South Carolina team, yeah, it's an opening day, but they've shared that same mentality through 8.5.
Absolutely, yeah. This
as we've just gone back and forth. Got a new pitcher in, David Erickson, out of Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. Cape Henlopen High School. And it's going to be up to a freshman here to try to keep Liberty with a chance to go into extra innings. Nick Neville swinging from the left side. He'll be followed by Chris Cullen and then Josiah Seitler.
Now, I was thinking before we saw the first pitch from the young freshman, wow, that's a pretty tough position to put a freshman in for his first appearance against South Carolina in the bottom of the ninth tie game, but he's definitely got a live arm.
Neville today 1 for 3, ground out, strikeout, single.
Those 2 pitches coming in at 94 and 92. You know he's jacked up in this situation. Pretty cool experience for a freshman. You know, we've seen Mark Kingston last year in his first year as a Gamecock skipper give the green light on a 3-0 count many times last year. I don't know if we're going to get a green light here.
4 pitches, all out of the zone, and it is a leadoff walk for Nick Neville. That will bring up the senior Chris Cullen.
I saw Coach Kingston talking to Chris Cullen there prior to him walking up into the batter's box, and I'm sure he's saying whether or not what his strategy he wants, whether he's going to be bunting or whether he's going to let him swing away.
Evan Brabrand getting loose in the dugout as Cullen lays down the bunt, and he will move the runner over to second.
Talking about perfect execution and perfect mechanics. Young kids watching, please watch this bunt. He's just literally trying to catch the ball on the end of the bat. He set the angle early, squared around early. Everybody in the ballpark knows he's bunting, but he's not pushing at the ball. He's literally trying to catch the ball on the end of the barrel to deaden it, and obviously there with the runner on first, you want that ball bunted towards first base if possible, and great execution there.
Seitler will not have a chance to be another freshman that could come up big. Instead, it's going to be Quentin Perez, the junior college transfer out of Arcot, California, as he has his bat in his hand. Now, will he keep that bat in his hand as Scott Jackson's going to the bullpen? We'll see. As we'll have a new Liberty pitcher. High drama here in Columbia for opening day 2019. Tied 5-5. And Scott Jackson, I thought I saw him give the signal as soon as he was coming out of the Liberty dugout.
I did too, Birch. I thought he did. And quite sure.
There it is.
There's another sign. I think the umpire may have seen him, but
I don't think his pitcher in the bullpen did. I think that's the problem.
Maybe so.
Five to 5. We're in the bottom of the ninth. We'll tell you about the new Liberty pitcher when we come back to Columbia. In that dugout, as he's volunteer assistant coach, or graduate assistant coach rather, for the Gamecocks.
Yeah, obviously a special player for the Gamecocks, a catalyst, in my opinion, to their season last year. Just a dirtbag gamer. I mean, absolutely loved watching Justin Rowe, and
had the SEC Defensive Play of the Year last year.
He was incredible. Had a lot of big hits for him, and you're right. It is Mark Kingston's game to have him in the dugout and
entire program.
Absolutely.
So it's Perez, the lefty. On deck, switch hitting Noah Campbell, who has been collared today for 3 strikeouts and an 0 for 4 outing. Will it even make it to Campbell? Perez with a chance to end the ballgame with 1 swing. Runner in scoring position. On second is Nick Neville. He's a very good base runner.
See, the Liberty outfield now has definitely stepped in about 10 or 12 paces, making sure that anything hit to them, they're going to be able to have a chance to throw the runner out at home.
Wind blowing out to right field. Here's the 1-1. Fouled off for strike 2.
Really good two-seam fastball that has some good sink on it there from Brabrand.
One-two count here on Perez. Outfield playing in. Pitch is low. The ball 2.
Good job of laying off that. That was a really good pitch there. Obviously a tough situation to come in with your first at-bat of the season. The runner in scoring position and the game on the line, but that obviously shows you the confidence that Mark Kingston and the staff have in Perez. Umpire wanted to call that one. That's the first time I think we've seen him flinch all day.
3 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out and 1 on, and a tie ball game here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Here's the 3-2. And he walks him. So Perez, the pinch hit walk, keep the inning going here for Carolina. And it brings up Noah Campbell, who will swing from the left side against the righty. And Campbell 0 for 4 today.
Last two pitches there by Brabant, sorry. That's a tongue twister. Borderline pitches that I think we actually have, man, we've seen those called a couple times today. I had a feeling Campbell might be swinging early. When you got 3, you don't want to get 4. You're swinging early. And you know, he was very, very patient in several of those at-bats. So that may have been something that Mark Kingston said, be aggressive, let it fly.
0 for 4 today, a pop out and 3 strikeouts. 1 out, 2 on. Campbell takes strike 2. On deck is Andrew Eister.
When you see a hitter take a fastball like that right out over the plate in an 0-1 count, he's either looking off speed there or he's just not seeing the ball. You know, and that's one thing as a hitter, when you're not seeing it good, it makes it really, really tough.
And down goes Noah Campbell for his 4th strikeout. 0 for 5 day. And now Andrew Eister, as you see Campbell.
Really good pitch there, Birch.
He committed. Good call by home plate umpire Clint Lawson. 2 outs now in the bottom of the 9th, and Andrew Eister. It's going to be a tough play for the shortstop, Highfield, but he makes it. In for Cam Locklear is Highfield, and Highfield with a great throw over from deep short. And here on opening day 2019, we've got extra innings when we come back. And for Liberty, they will lead things off. Here in the 10th with Hyde, Brady Hyde. There is action in the Gamecock bullpen. Sawyer Bridges on the mound right now. John Gilreath working in that bullpen. Let's take a look at the highlights, show you how we got here. South Carolina and Liberty. It was South Carolina in the 2nd inning. First collegiate at bat for Brady Allen. Guess what? A 3-run home run. But then Liberty follows with Cam Locklear's bases clearing double. We're tied at 3. And back and forth we keep going. In the 8th, TJ Hopkins. Carolina was tied then, but Hopkins puts the Gamecocks ahead, but not for long. In the 9th, with 2 outs, it's freshman Will Wagner going yard, and that sends us to where we are now. Extra innings here in Columbia on opening day.
Yeah, Bridges picking up where he left off last inning. And really all night coming in just pounding the zone. That's 5 straight strikes to start this inning out. And there's number 6 and 2 quick strikeouts on 3 pitches each. Bridges certainly motivated, frustrated, I know, after giving up that game-tying home run. And he wants to do everything he can to get the Gamecocks back in the dugout here in the 10th to try to score that 1 run and win this ball game.
So with 2 outs, it's 9-hole hitter Jalen Guy. Off speed for Bridges, misses out of the zone for ball 1. 6 of the 7 outs for Sawyer Bridges have all been strikeouts. And it's a 1-2-3 inning here in the 10th as Sawyer Bridges makes quick work of the Liberty Flames. We go to the bottom of the 10th. When we return to Columbia,
job of getting them back on the map, and they have made some great plays today and showed a lot of grit and haven't been intimidated one bit coming into this ballpark and playing in the big time SEC against South Carolina.
Showing bunt, TJ Hopkins. Hopkins put Carolina ahead briefly in the 8th with his first hit of the ballgame, a solo home run to the deepest part of the park. Swing and a miss there, and he's behind in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. As Braband continues to deal after coming on in the 9th. Hopkins gets a piece to stay alive. On deck for Carolina, Luke Berryhill. And then it's Jacob Olson in the hole. 3, 4, and 5 in the order here for Carolina. Hopkins had the walk-off here in Columbia last year against Clemson. And Brabrand gets Hopkins' second strikeout of the game for Brabrand.
Brabrand, 4 straight breaking balls there to Hopkins. I don't think he wanted any part of. He saw what Hopkins did to that fastball that was up in the zone a couple innings ago, and Liberty Flames pitching staff so far, they've got some pitchability. A couple guys with some pretty decent arms, and certainly a good sign for them early on. Looked like a little cut fastball there. He may call it a slider, but that ball had really late life to it, and pretty good pitch.
Count runs even now. 1 ball, 1 strike here on Luke Berryhill. Berryhill today 1 for 2 with a triple, a run scored.
Berryhill certainly a guy that could end this night with 1 swing of the bat. Really good cut fastball there. That's extreme late action. Really good pitch there from Braband.
The 2-1. Slapped over to third, and what another play by Gallison. That is 2 wonderful defensive plays at third base by Tyler Gallison.
Boy, slapping the leather. Great job there.
Another good stretch, too, by Logan Matthew. 2 outs, and now Jacob Olson.
I think he made the right move there, just continuing his momentum and spinning instead of trying to jump pivot and throw the other way. He just kept his momentum moving, and really athletic play there. It's good to see him smiling too at the end of that play. Just see him tossing the ball around. It's a fun game, and it's fun when you're having fun out there playing, and sometimes you get a little too tense and too tight, but it's good to see guys having fun out there playing.
Jacob Olson jumps on one. Off the top of the wall, just missing it being a walk-off home run.
Yes, he did. That was a rocket to left center, and I think if earlier in the daytime, I think that ball's gone easy into the left center field bullpen there. Really good piece of hitting there by Olson.
So the Gamecocks with another chance to keep this inning going, as it's a 2-out double for Jacob Olson. Brady Allen started this game for Carolina with a home run. Could he end it that way?
He certainly could, but you know, he doesn't need to here.
He just wants to end it any way he can.
Yeah, any way he can. A single might do it. Olson runs pretty well, and you know, anything in the gaps, obviously Olson scores easy, but certainly a great day so far for Brady Allen. And Jacob Olson, you know, we talked about it earlier, Birch. Jacob Olson, you know, what was it, 230 or 240 he hit last year, 234. Gosh, you remember the amount of hard outs he had. I mean, he was hitting the ball. I felt like, you know, watching him play, going, he's probably hitting 280. And I'm like, he's hitting 230, 240, whatever it may have been at the time. But he never took that to the field. He always played great defense. You mentioned before he had 5 assists last year in right field. Look for him to have a big year for the Gamecocks.
Big swing from Allen, chasing that pitch. He falls behind, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That's a really good cutter, slider, whatever he wants to call it. I think it's a pitch he's probably actually throws it where he'll just cut a little bit and then gets on top of it a little bit more and maybe throws a little bit more like a slider to get that down and away action to a right-handed hitter. It's a really tight spin on it. Good pitch.
And that's a great pitch by Brabrand to get it. Brady Allen. And we've played 10 here in Columbia. Liberty continuing this ball game as we go to the 11th. (2006) February 10th against Elon in South Carolina, went 11 innings then to win 5-4.
Yeah, Birch Gilreath certainly going to look to build off a pretty solid campaign as a freshman last year. Pitched a good many innings for South Carolina, and he's going to feature a good 2-seam fastball, probably in the 86, 89 range. And he's been working on a cutter now that's been 79 to 82 that has been a really good pitch for him. He'll dump a curveball in at 74, 76, and his out pitch is his changeup. He's got a plus changeup and really likes to use it. But Gilreath's a guy that really impressed me early on last year with his mound presence and pitch ability as a guy that could have still been in high school, which was quite impressive. But struggled a little bit at times with getting behind guys and walking guys, but again, overall, a really solid freshman campaign for him.
2 balls and a strike here on Jonathan Embry. Top of the order. 1, 2, 3. Embry, Gallison, Matthew. Embry's 0 for 2 today. He's walked 3 times and scored a run. And Gilreath records a strikeout of Embry to starting out the 11th inning.
He went back to the cutter there. Good pitch there by Gilreath, and importantly to get that first guy out. We've seen the Gamecocks get in trouble tonight. It's normally been with a leadoff walk or to start that inning, and anytime you can get the first guy out, that's a big out.
Grass jumped up and took a bite of Gilreath there.
Let's see what happened there. He didn't really take the best of angles there, and I don't know if it's tough to tell because that ball was capped. It was a change-up. And as a left-handed pitcher there, he would have that's not the right route I think he wanted to go, but I'm not quite sure if the ball wasn't knuckling back and forth on him a little bit.
And that's going to be scored an error.
Honestly, I think it should be an error. That's a play that I think John Gilreath would tell you he should make 100 times out of 100 times. It's pretty routine. I got a feeling, though, the grass is a little bit damp right now as the air's getting a little cooler, but
here's Logan Matthew now, doubling the first, his only hit of the ball game. We're here in the 11th with 1 out and 1 on, tied 5-5. Looking ahead for South Carolina, it will be the bottom of the order. Neville Cullen, and then the 9-hole hitter is probably TBD, although Jordan Holiday is playing first and has yet to swing the bat, so it could be Holiday in that role. What's Skylar Meade telling Gilreath here?
Well, if he saw something there, or if he wanted to give a little bit of time potentially, they may have a matchup coming up that they got someone in the bullpen warming up. I don't think that's what it was. I think he wanted to strategically talk to John Gilreath there, whether it was just a phrase or something. Sometimes pitching coaches will, there may be something that he continues to struggle with, and that one's going to go on Cullen there. That was a play he got a little bit lazy on there. And I'll tell you one thing you see from Liberty is there's certainly, obviously, whoever is coaching their base runners and teaching them, they are doing a wonderful job of anticipating that ball in the dirt, and they're going.
Two balls and a strike. Here to Logan Matthew. Count goes now 2-2 as Gilreath able to get Matthew swinging.
Gilreath can throw that cutter here just off the plate. It will be a good location here for him to try to get a big strikeout and get the second out of the inning for the Gamecocks.
It is going to be pass ball, the ruling. Up the middle, Neville shaded perfectly for Matthew and makes the throw over to first, but moving over to third is the runner, Tyler Gallison.
Yeah, good pitch there. There's a cutter down and away, and good job there by Gilreath and maintaining his composure after having the physical blunder there on the ground ball back to him. He's got a chance now to get out of this inning and get the Gamecocks back up to bat.
Drew Ballman, the batter, takes the first pitch, a ball from Gilreath.
Must have been just a little bit low there. Good changeup again from Gilreath.
Ballman today 0 for 5.
And back-to-back changeups there to start the at-bat against Ballman.
Stepping off is Gilreath. The 1-1. Gilreath jumps ahead, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Gamecock faithful are up on their feet, trying to get a strikeout here, clapping their hands. What a ball game this has been.
The 1-2. And that's going to score a run as Liberty takes the lead. A wild pitch from John Gilreath, and coming across to score is Gallison.
You can tell there from that angle, but I couldn't tell if he was trying to throw a change up there and just spiked it and held on to it too long or what, but
Gallison had 2 big plays defensively, and now he's the one that could be the difference maker. He reached on an error, then got to second on the pass ball, then scores on the wild pitch, and Liberty leads 6-5, going to the bottom of the 11th here in Columbia. Gamecocks, it's the bottom of the order. Neville, Cullen, and then most likely Jordan Holiday in the 9 hole. South Carolina in the bottom of the 9th inning, night. 2 outs. You've got your stopper on the mound, Sawyer Bridges, freshman at the plate. You're ahead by 1, and the freshman with a solo homer to keep Liberty in it. Give Liberty 2 more tries offensively, and you throw a couple of wild pitches. You've got a pass ball. You allow a guy to reach on an error, and he then comes around to score. And there you go. South Carolina finds themselves here on opening day behind by a run here in extra innings. And South Carolina in danger of dropping opening day back-to-back.
Oh,
What a play there by Jalen Guy. Jalen Guy with a web gem in center field off the bat of Nick Neville.
you know, if you're Liberty coming in, you're probably not expecting to win a lot of games in a series against South Carolina, but to be able to win any, you know that you're going to have to play great defense, and tonight we have seen some great defense out of Liberty. They've done a good job overall pitching, in my opinion, and they are 2 outs away from.
I'm going to disagree with you. I think if you're Liberty, Kip, I think you come into this series expecting to take 2 out of 3.
Well, I guess I mean
this is a team that finished high in the Big South a season ago, picked to finish 3rd in a very competitive Atlantic Sun behind a very good Stetson team and a good Jacksonville team. The only question was, where did Liberty stand on the mound as far as depth at pitching? And I think as Liberty coming in knew what they had defensively in the field, and they knew what they had at the plate, and they knew what they had, I think, in their heart and between their ears. It was just, could their pitching staff keep them in the games? So I think Liberty coming in is thinking that we could come into Columbia and take 2 out of 3.
Well, I certainly hope all their players feel that way, because you got to. If you don't believe in
right,
you may as well not. I was more or less speaking from a realistic standpoint, what I feel like probably should happen. And
realistically, this is a South Carolina team that lost their entire starting pitching staff. What a great play defensively again in the middle of the field for Liberty, and there's that freshman, Will Wagner. You know, this is going back to my point here as they take another look at Wagner. And this is a Carolina team, realistically, that lost Friday, Saturday, Sunday starters and has a brand new infield. You know, a brand new outfield with the exception of TJ Hopkins. all of the starters that you lose, I mean, you're flipping the script pretty much. I think there was a lot of question marks as to what is South Carolina bringing to the table on opening day.
Well, and I mean, hey, those are all valid points, and I'm certainly not. I'm giving Liberty nothing but credit. They've been outstanding today, but they're making plays when they have to right now. I mean, they're just really, really quieted this South Carolina fan base and the team. Brave Brand is going to have a lot of success, I believe, this year if he continues. It looks like he's almost just has a natural cut on his fastball. There's a guy named Jesse Chavez in the big leagues now that's got that, and that should do it.
Holiday. That's going to fall. That drops. There's that communication issue that we saw earlier between center and right field.
Well, he's playing deep. I noticed that even from the very first pitch of this inning. The outfielders are playing deep, no doubles, not trying to let anything over their head. And I don't know if he lost that in the lights or what. If you're Liberty, that could come back to bite you there.
So we've got Jacob English now that will be running for Holiday. And now you've got Noah Campbell at the plate, who is looking to break out of an 0 for 5 day, 4 strikeouts. And he's got a chance to put South Carolina back on top and walk away with a walk-off.
Yes, he does. And that could make you feel a little bit better about a 0 for 5 start.
Jacob English, pinch runner from Murrells Inlet, South Carolina, St. James High School. There was a Tanner English from St. James High School and Murrells Inlet that could run pretty well as well.
Yeah, there certainly was.
Campbell lays off. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 1 on. Gamecocks down by a run, 6-5 here in the bottom of the 11th. Campbell stays alive. Jacob English, pinch runner. His brother Tanner played here at Carolina. Boy, could Tanner English fly.
Yeah, he was fun to watch run.
And getting the call, the outside edge, Campbell striking out for the 5th time, and Liberty hangs on, and South Carolina will drop this opening day contest with Liberty as they lose an extra inning 6-5. But how about these Flames to take the series opener 6-5?
Big win for Liberty coming in and winning a game here at Founders Park against the Gamecocks, and they did enough to win tonight, and the Gamecocks didn't execute when they had to, and a couple costly errors and walks that a little bit of a tough night for them, but a lot of positive takeaway for the Gamecocks tonight.
Series continues tomorrow on Saturday here in Columbia. Kip and I will return on Sunday. Join us then. South Carolina loses as Liberty wins 6-5 here in Columbia. For my broadcast partner Kip Boatnight, I am Birch Entley saying so long from Columbia. We'll talk to you next time.